Hello traders, welcome back to another video. As you can see from the title, I'm going to be going over one of my favorite setups called the inside bar play. In my opinion, this is one of these setups that I have found the absolute best success rate with. These setups just always seem to work. And I'm not going to say they work every time because no setup works every time. But I found very consistent results with this inside bar play setup, and they're very easy. They're very easy to play. They're very easy to find. Any newer trader can play this type of setup, and they also have very high reward and low risk, in my opinion. And I'm going to go ahead and show you kind of how I would play these. I'm going to show you a few different examples here. And yeah, hopefully you guys find this video very useful. If you do, please like and subscribe. And let's get into it. So here I have a chart of VZ Verizon. And recently, Verizon broke its all-time highs right here with this green, what I like to call a break-up candle. It's a candle that is usually bigger than the ones around it, breaks an important level, and closes near the high, or on a breakdown candle would close near the low. So in this case, Verizon had a break-up candle. And so for this strategy, it's called the inside bar strategy because first of all, you want to look for a large break-up or breakdown candle like this one in Verizon. And then you want to see the next candle take place and close inside of that candle. You want it to close inside of this whole candle, which I've marked by this rectangle. And as this happens, the next few candles will likely stay inside of that candle, making an inside bar pattern. It means all of these these trading days price action, and specifically the closes, they close inside of this breakup candle. And so the key with this strategy is that you want to look for a break of this breakup or breakdown candle. And so what I do is I mark it with the rectangle tool here on Thinkorswim. You can find here, or whatever charting platform you use. Just grab a rectangle tool, or draw some lines, perhaps draw some price levels, and set your alerts for those breaks, right? And just check up on them each day. If it's a daily chart, check at the end of each day as these setups I'm watching broke. And so in this case, Verizon breaks down and closes, right? The importance is the close below the inside bar, right? Closes below that zone. The next day, boom, we get a gap down. We get a nice little drop there, right? From the close of this day, we've got a 1.57, 1.6% drop. Okay, so not a bad play on Verizon there. And I want to show you guys some other charts here that are actually in smaller time frames. If I can get this pulled up here. There we go. Here are two more setups that I've got. One is Charter. This is an hourly chart, and I've got Facebook on the right. That's a 10-minute chart. So you can use these on any type of time frame, guys. Like, these are really, really cool plays. You can use them for day trading, swing trading. I've used them for both. They're really great. So here's an hourly chart on Charter Communications. We can see, marked by the rectangle, we have this large breakup candle. It's very much bigger than the rest of the candles around it. It closes near the highs, and it breaks, right, this support or this resistance level here and closes above. So this is a good criteria. It meets our first criteria. Second criteria is the next candle needs to come down and close within that candle, which it does. And as expected, we see the next few candles, in this case, next many, many, many candles, all closing inside of that hourly breakup candle. Again, be cautious not to get faked out in the middle of an hourly candle. If it starts breaking out, don't get faked out. Don't jump on the train. There's no need to be impatient with this strategy. You simply wait for a close above or below that inside bar. So as we can see, this candle here, 6:30 a.m., finally breaks up and closes above. Now, since we are in an hourly chart, you would want to give this a little bit of time, right? A daily chart, you might also want to give more time, right? These might be swing trade opportunities. An hourly chart breakout might be a short swing. It could be possibly a day trade, but they don't always happen very fast. So in this case, breaks up, you would want to enter as close to the retest as you can. In this case, it didn't quite retest, but it came down very close to that level. You can see right here and right afterwards. So those both provided fairly good entries there. And as we can see, it started to consolidate above that zone. And then finally, a couple days later, boom, it takes off. And, we've got a very nice rally from that breakout entry up to the highs. You've got 3.73%. That's a fairly nice move for just a couple day hold. Okay. And again, with stop losses, guys, I believe the best way to have a stop loss on these is to use the low of the candle that breaks out from the inside bar. So in this charter case, you've got a bar that breaks out, and so whenever you would get whatever time frame you're using, you want to stick with that. So whenever you get an hourly close back below that breakup candle, that is where you take a loss. Some traders also will just do it if an hourly candle comes and closes back below their inside bar. If it closed back below here, this rectangle, they would also exit. Both are fine. I've just found that sometimes a chart will like to come test the actual candle that broke out and continue on its way. So that's what I do. Okay. Now on the right, one last example. This one is a breakdown candle, as you can see on a 10-minute chart. And so we want to look for our criteria. Our first one is a candle that is larger than the rest, breaks a support or resistance, and closes on the lows, in this case, as a breakdown candle. We can see a support over here that this candle does break through. It closes on the lows. And we can see for our second criteria, we want the next candle to come up inside and close inside of that candle, which it does, as we can see here. And as expected, the next few candles all take place within inside of that inside bar. And so then we mark our rectangle or our levels. We simply set alerts, and we don't need to watch it all day. We wait for a break, right? It might not happen today. Maybe it will. But we just set our alerts and we move on to finding other setups. And so in this case, we can see it took about 2 days, right, to actually play out. And in this case, it came in the form of a gap up. So one thing I want to note about gap ups, it changes the stop loss a little bit for me. I consider a gap up to be a breakup candle from the close all the way to where it gapped, right? So essentially my stop loss becomes where we closed at. Imagine this being a breakup candle. So I'm using the low of the breakup candle at the closing price as my stop loss. So any 10-minute close back below that gap is my stop loss, and I want to try to enter again as close to the inside bar as I can. So on this pullback, I may enter full, I may enter a half position here in case it comes down to here. But I'd probably enter something on this pullback just to get some skin in the game. And we can move over here and see that day Facebook performed very well, and it went on to gap down, see a nice rally, and it's kind of teetering out now. But what's likely going to happen? Well, it's either going to come down and retest that inside bar area, or it's likely going to continue higher because these are very powerful patterns, guys. They're very powerful. They're very consistent. Um, they're my favorite trading pattern to play, guys. So I hope this helped you guys. I hope you guys start looking for these patterns now. Keep in mind the criteria: a larger than normal break up or breakdown candle coming through a support or resistance. Mark the top and bottom, set your alerts, wait for that break. Stop loss will be that breakout candle's low or that breakout candle's high. Okay? So, yeah, hope you guys find this useful. If you did, please like, share, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.